Excited for the first day of school? Let's go.
Why is everybody so rich?
Are you ready for my party Saturday night?
I got DJ Khaled's Baby to make you a playlist. It's okay.
Time out. What is up with these kids?
Yeah, I think living up to that Morris name definitely weighs heavy on me. But I think what's special is that slowly throughout the series, I find kind of how to use that privilege for the better. I do kind of find that weak spot that what I think erodes that, I guess, privilege from me.
It's an incredible honor to carry on the Spano name, and it's also so much fun playing the son of such a phenomenal character, Jesse Spano, with such an awesome legacy. It was very fun for me to meet Elizabeth during the auditioning process, and we got to speak at length about the industry in general. I just moved to LA. She was very helpful getting me acquainted and giving me pointers about the business and television and acting and all this good stuff. And it's very cool to carry on that character. There's a lot of similarities there that I think people will love.
I play Alycia Garcia on the show, who is this confident, outspoken, strong woman who originally has not the best idea about going to Bayside. She doesn't have high hopes for it because she wants to stay with the community that she's accustomed to, but she ends up loving it in a lot of ways and ends up getting involved and really enjoying the resources that she's allotted at this new school.
Daisy is definitely a character I'm so honored to be playing. It's outside of like just being able to break the fourth wall, but to be able to be a source of representation and to be seen in a different light other than the girl from the Bronx, the pregnant teen, the troubled girl, you know. Daisy, you know, she comes from a single mother household, low income. She has a younger brother. She has so many responsibilities that she takes on, and she takes on like a champ. So she's motivated, she's ambitious, she's determined. And that's who we are as women and as Latina, especially because we have so much to prove. And I think Daisy's character throughout this journey, you see her always feeling like she has to prove herself to someone and always overworking. And that's how I related to Daisy and how I can still relate to her as myself. And there's this moment where Daisy is talking to Mac and Lexi, and she's like, you know, people like you get it so easy. People like me have to fight for it, and you don't know what that's like, because I have so much to give and I want to give so much, and I'm never given the opportunity. And when I actually said those words in the audition room, those were actual tears. It wasn't tears that I was making up. Like, I wasn't acting to cry. I was actually feeling it because I felt it. So to be able to play that and almost like lead the show and be able to have control of my narrative, I mean, give it to me. I'm here. I'm ready.
In attendance will be the governor of California.
Mac's dad?
You look amazing and your hair's fire.
My dad's also coming.
I don't care about your dad, Spencer. I just care about Zach and Kelly.
I'm definitely a figure who gets pranked and who doesn't get a lot of respect and all these things. But actually, it turns out I have a lot of good dramatic arcs on the show just because I have to integrate these two populations, the Bayside kids, and I have to integrate a whole population of students who are being brought to Bayside from more underserved communities. They don't have as much money as these Bayside kids, and I'm the one who has to bridge them. So it's been, dramatically, it's actually kind of interesting to watch Todman do this, and it shows a lot of abilities that Todman didn't even know he had. He's been so beat up by, I think, by the kids at Bayside that he hasn't really had a chance to shine. And when the new students arrive, I think he feels like he has something in common with them. He feels like an outsider at his own school, and now he's fighting for them. And it's been a really interesting job that way because the stories are good for me.
Yeah, Lexi is the meanest, most fun girl in school. She is in glam, top to bottom, full face of makeup every day, 5-inch heels to class every day. She's every small girl's dream. But throughout the season, you learn a little bit more about her and you realize she's not just that stereotypical archetype of that mean girl, and she's very dimensional. But yeah, I think it's fun. I think she's smart. I think she's funny. I would assimilate her, or not assimilate, but I would parallel her to Catherine O'Hara's character in Schitt's Creek, but a little bit more polished. So it's super fun.
You only know how Bayside works for kids like you.
Hot kids,
Privileged kids.
privileged kids.
I relate so much to Devontae. And so it's really important because, like, I remember growing up and wishing that I saw somebody on television that was like me, you know, that was a 6'1" basketball playing player who just secretly loved musical theater. And now having the opportunity to bring somebody like that to life on camera. And I just hope that, you know, an 8-year-old kid from Camden, New Jersey, whose name is Devontae, can look at the screen and see that he could be a little bit more than what the social norm wants to picture him as.
I think the beautiful relationship between Devontae and Lexi is that they both learn so much from each other because of Lexi's privilege. She has like this innate confidence in her that I feel like she teaches Dexter's character about. And I feel like Dexter really gives Lexi a better understanding of what it's like to be a character like Devontae, a young Black man, and going through high school and everything that his character goes through. And I think it really educates her and it puts perspective on her. And I think his character is one of the sole vehicles that drive her involvement throughout the season.
You know, growing up and having Lark be the only African-American woman representation on that show, and being beautiful and stunning and smart and having an interest in fashion and all that kind of stuff. She was somebody who I grew up having a crush on the show. And so, you know, being at Bayside and having Devontae kind of re-implement himself as the first African-American presence that we've really seen on Saved by the Bell. I'd looked to Lark so much for inspiration in that sense of just, you know, hoping to carry the torch and from the male perspective, while we also have Afro-Latina representation in Alycia and Latina representation from Haskiri. It's just a really diverse opportunity for us to be able to show so many layers of so many different cultures that people aren't privy to.
When the show had originally been brought to me, I had met with Tracy Wigfield, our showrunner, for coffee. And when she told me that the character, we would explore her gender identity, that it wouldn't be all about her gender, which I thought was super important because so often in trans representation, it is solely about the struggle of trans people. So getting to show a character who just happened to be trans was so wonderful. But it was also really important to me to serve as a producer on the show because I had a voice and a seat at the table to represent people like me or who identify with the same identity that I do in the best, most authentic light. And I was so grateful that I was given that opportunity because I think we do that perfectly on this show.